Hi everyone, welcome back. So you finished 2 lessons now, and so it's finally time for you to actually start doing something in Solidworks. So remember, every lesson is attached into a quiz, and so you're supposed to answer questions based on what you see and do in the lesson. Now before this was just multiple choice questions based on what I talked about, and there will be those kind of lessons in the future. However, for this one and for many in the future, you're expected to actually do what I do. Copy me. Now, obviously I've been doing this for a lot longer than you have, most likely. So if that's the case, it's probably going to take you a lot longer to do things than it takes me. That's okay. You have the magical ability to pause and rewind this video as necessary. So watch me do something, pause, do it yourself. Didn't quite catch it? Rewind. It's magic. You can time travel. It's incredible. So, what are we doing this time? We are going to be building a part right here. Because that's what we always do. And now after building a part, I have to go ahead and sketch. Now luckily for me, the sketch tab is already selected, so I don't have to worry about that too much. All I have to do now is I click on the sketch, I go to the sketch button. This is just to teach you about certain buttons in SolidWorks. I don't really have anything particularly in mind that I want to create today, so I'm just going to choose a front plane. Usually when I'm drawing, I make it in the front plane. That really matters when you get to assemblies and just makes things easier, because however you make it in this drawing part, when you put it into assembly, it's going to, it's just an orange out here, it's going to come out the same way. I don't have a really good example of that right this second. Next to me, I have my Tupperware, but I don't want to put that right now. Okay, so what we're going to learn about, we're going to be learning about lines and rectangles. So the line button and the rectangle button. Now if you scroll over these, it will actually show a little GIF about how it works. I'm not even sure if that's going to show up in my recording, but it does work. So I'd like to show you a little bit of what that is. So I'm going to go ahead and show you drawing. Now each of the buttons actually shows you how it works. So right there, you look at the line button, it shows a circle, it shows a line, and then another circle. So what that is telling you is that when you click one place, it starts the line. When you click a second place, it ends the line. So rectangle, you see it's a circle, and a rectangle, and another circle. So as you click, it starts the rectangle, then you drag over, it creates the rectangle. It's the same for all the buttons. You can actually see how all of them work based on that. I'm going to erase this because I don't need it. And let's get out of this and get back to what we're doing. So first off, lines. When I click, I drag, I let go. Click, 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 click. If you just click and you don't drag, it will continue to make lines for forever. If you want to stop, hit escape. If you click and drag, it will just make one line. Click, I'm holding down, I haven't let go, let go. Click, I'm holding it down and dragging across, let go. Click, holding it down and dragging it across, let go. So one line, I just click at different points, I make a bunch of lines. It's meant to help you do it a lot faster. Look at that, I've got a rectangle. Why did it fill in? We'll get to that in just a bit. Okay, I've got way too much stuff here, so I'm going to select everything. You can just select everything by clicking and dragging. It's kind of like how you used to with your desktop. And delete all those. Delete all those. There we go. I think I accidentally clicked out on this window. So, that's a line. Now you might have noticed that there's a little drop-down box along with that line, right here. Drop-down box gives you two other options. One is a center line. Center lines aren't meant to be something that you're building. It's something to help you create something. So we'll see this a lot with circles. Sometimes you want to have like little crossbars with circles so you can see where it's going to touch on the top, the bottom, the right, or the left. Sometimes you'll make an X through a rectangle to help you better line it up. Lots of reasons you might use this. And we'll see those a lot later on. Okay, let's get rid of these. And there's also what's called a midpoint line. That's where if I click on a point and I drag it out, it does the same thing on the opposite side. Magic! I don't use those all that often, but they are helpful when you're trying to make something that's perfectly centered. Okay, now rectangles. Click, click. Okay, click, I'm now dragging, let go. Either way, it does the same thing. It makes one rectangle. And every time you do this, it's going to continue to make rectangles. You probably see these little green rectangles or green squares next to each of the lines. We'll talk about those eventually. It's not yet about what that means. And one thing you might notice is that this is colored in. Like if I draw a rectangle using some lines, that's almost closed. Not quite closed, almost closed. This is closed, this is not closed. If you have a closed, what's called a contour, that's a set of lines that make a complete closed shape, it will fill it in. It'll color it in and say, hey, this one's closed. If it's open, where it's just a set of lines and it doesn't actually connect all the way around, it will not color it in. This is important for later on when we begin taking these 2D sketches and turning them into 3D models. Okay. Now, hopefully you've been messing around with me this entire time and seeing this all. So now let's put it together and create something, and you'll finally get your answer. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to make it too hard on you. If you've been watching this video, how many rectangles do you see on the screen? That's going to be your question right now, okay? It's not crazy. It's a pretty easy one. Hope you were following along. In the future, though, there will be some serious numbers along with this, okay? Well, thanks for listening. Hopefully it wasn't too hard learning how to use these 2 buttons. And there's a lot more options I didn't go into. There's various ways of doing rectangles. And we'll see a lot of those in the future. So have a wonderful day. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.